Hello everybody, it is me Darcy. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the Unnamed Podcast. Time of the week where I sit here with this and talk a bit of rubbish or whatever else comes to my mind. Generally my mind, very rarely it's mind. Guys, as always, we're going to be here for a good time, not a measured time. So, let's get started.
I like how you've changed that from not a long time to not a measured time.
Well, you know what? I used to say that, but then it turned out we were being here for a very long time. Like, I think the last 4 podcasts have all been over an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And I just realized it's easier, and it's actually probably more...
Accurate?
Oh, not accurate, but more like... What's that term when you like, just to get into the flow of things? It's better when we're in the flow of things and just talking what we want to talk about instead of being like, we've got to keep this at an hour.
Yeah, okay, yeah, fair.
You know, because like sometimes we are going to like be like sometimes we're actually going to be under an hour. Let's be real, because if really nothing new is happening and you know it's just been one of those shitty weeks that everyone has, you're not going to really have a whole lot to talk about.
No.
Whereas if it's something big happening, you know, Earth-changing ramifications, maybe, just maybe, it deserves a little bit more than a passing reference.
Yeah, that's fair.
So, you know, I think it's better to not measure the time, but measure the content. And come to a point where you go, yeah, I really don't have anything else to talk about, so I guess that's where we're going to end. Or sometimes you're like, I actually really want to talk about this topic, and we've been going for over an hour now, but I still really want to talk about it. So,
fair.
Change of plans. Instead of measuring the podcast in time, we're going to measure it in what we want to talk about and get it through that. And so, therefore, an unmeasured amount of time.
Yeah, it makes sense.
It's unmeasurable. But guys, let's get started how we so often do.
Yes.
With a little bit of channel news. Kris, take it away.
Yeah, indeed. So this week, on Wednesday, was another part to Indiana Jones.
That was Monday.
That was Monday?
Yeah.
Monday.
Yeah.
I'm behind. You know what, Monday, that's... Fuck, okay, yeah, fair point. Monday.
See, and that would make a whole lot of sense.
Yeah, I know, I'm a little out of it at the moment, apparently. Yes, Monday was Indiana.
Yeah, Monday. So, I've kind of had to... Okay, so let's start how I always do when I talk about Indiana Jones, because I really don't want... I don't know what other people were saying about the game, because I honestly didn't look at it.
Yeah.
But you know how there are some places when they say something good about a game, and you go, tell us how you really feel.
Yeah.
Because, you know, like... Sort of like when the Veilguard came out, how everyone was being like, it's okay. Because, you know, like, it was damning with false praise, and it's okay was the best thing they could say about it. Because you couldn't call it good, but it definitely wasn't okay either. But you know how there's a whole list of games like that, especially out recently, where if you watch review channels and stuff, they'll be like, oh, it's good. And then you play and you're like, oh, you didn't tell me about this, you didn't tell me about that, you didn't tell me about this or that or this, or, you know, all these little things that go from it's good to... So sort of like, what was the other one that came out? The one that was like, that everyone's comparing to Oblivion. Avowed?
That sounds right. I think so.
It was that one that came out that was by the guys who did The Outer Worlds. I want to say Oblivion Studios, but I might be wrong.
I'm pretty sure Avowed is the one they were comparing.
Yeah. And, you know, like, if you've never played any games like it, you'll go into it and you'll go, oh, it's fine. It's a fine game. But if you've played, you know, I don't know, let's say, the original Elder Scrolls Oblivion, the original Skyrim, any of the Fallouts, including 76, you realize that for a, you know, open world RPG, it's lacking.
That's one way to say it.
And it has some poor mechanics, and you know, it doesn't feel like a world that's actually being lived in because you know people don't react to you. You know, remember in like Skyrim how you would rob someone, and then you'd like walk outside and there'd be like 50 guards being like, "Hey, you robbed that guy," and you're like, "How do you fucking even know about this?"
No, I don't remember that. I never actually played Skyrim.
What do you? Okay, well, you'd like rob someone. There'd be no one there. You walk outside, the guy would be like, "Hey, you thief," and you're like, "How? How did you know about that? You got ye old security system."
Yes. It's
Yeah,
just
we
a
got.
chicken inside the house.
No, it's bats hanging from the ceiling.
Oh shit! Yeah,
Writing
fair
shit
point.
down for him. Much like the episode of Root.
Well, it's either that or it's crows,
Yeah,
and they answer to Odin.
but so like that would happen. But you know, if you didn't steal, the guards would just say like, "Hey, I used to be an adventurer until I took an arrow in the knee." You'd be like,
Yeah. Okay, I know that.
"Now I am stealing."
Screw you.
But like, yeah, no, like you can in Avowed, you can like shoot them in the face at close range with a gun, and the guards just sit there and be like, "And." They literally
What
don't
was
react.
that noise?
You can like you can't decide to be a murder hobo and just kill everyone in town like you can in any game that really is good. So there's just a whole lot lacking from it, but there's so many people out there, especially traditional game reviewers, who say who give it the false praise. Oh, it's a good game. It's a fun game, and you go,
Yeah.
compare it to its equivalent games. And it's like, don't compare it to its equivalent games that came out this year. Compare it to its equivalent games, especially you know, like I get really annoyed because there are a whole list of young gamers who will never go back and play older games.
That is true.
Which is good that we're getting a lot of
Well,
remakes.
it's harder to get some of them, but
True. Do want to talk about that a little bit later, but
Yeah.
like you can play some of the remakes,
Uh-huh.
but even they're a little bit iffy sometimes. About if they are actually a true representation of the game that they are supposed to be a either remaster or remake of.
Yeah.
So there's that. But the problem is like, yeah, I guess if you've never played any other RPG, if Avowed is your first, you'd sit there and be like, "This is fine.
Yeah, I suppose.
This is great. I love it. I'm having so much fun." But the second you compare it to something that is in the same genre as it, you go, "Oh, this is bad. This is schlop. It's schlop in the bucket." Because it's not, and it's not because, oh well, you know, but it looks pretty. It's because it's like this came from a bunch of guys who Oblivion Studios who are supposed to be able to do this. They've done it in the past.
That is true. Yeah.
And they're fucking failing. They're just fucking failing at it.
Okay, I'm glad you got the word right the second time.
Well, I wasn't going to say it, but then I decided I would say it.
Fair enough.
It's like they're failing, but then they're putting it out there, and people are going like, "Oh, but this is a studio that can do this. They can do this, so therefore this game should be good."
I think they're giving them too much leeway on that.
I think they're being like, "We've seen you do it great in the past, and so we're going to be like, okay, you didn't bring your A game, you didn't show up on the day, but we're going to give you a pass anyway." And you've got young gamers coming in and playing these games, being like, "Oh, cool," but those young gamers will never go back and play games that are older and look older, that don't have the polish, because they don't have the polish.
I'm gonna want to go back and play The Witcher 3,
But they
which is really the only RPG I've played a lot of.
They don't. Well, like, okay, so like even The Witcher 3 though has so much polish, but The Witcher 3 also has its issues. Like The Witcher 3's fighting isn't the best, but then again, neither are most role-playing large games fighting the best. Go watch a fight in Skyrim. It's bad, but
Yes.
the point is that because we actually have a bias for things that look good, you know, like you don't go back and play the old ones, so you go, "Oh well, this is a good game," and you start to accept the crap that's coming out today as being acceptable, which none of it is.
No.
But all of that is to preface the fact that when I do say I really like the Indiana Jones game, I'm not being facetious. I'm not saying like, "Oh, it is a fun adventure game." Like, if you want to go and play a game where you shoot a bunch of Nazis, it's not that.
No.
You can, trust me, you can, but it's not that game. The gun mechanics aren't brilliant.
I imagine that.
They're functional,
Well, it's supposed to be an adventure game. I imagine
That's it.
Gun
Like,
isn't supposed
no
to
one's
be
sitting there
all
being
that
like, okay, Call of Duty hero Indiana Jones, here's your gun and here's your second gun, and remember switching to your handguns faster than reloading, and press F to pay respects. No one's saying that, and so the gunplay and stuff isn't what you would expect from a first-person shooter, but that's not what it is.
True.
The adventuring is on point. The fact that you've got to run around a big map and find secrets and stuff like that, that's on point.
And then you get to hide bodies in plain sight. That's just slightly out of the way.
Don't even have to hide them.
Fuck, okay. Okay.
So, I preface all of this by saying I really do like the game. Now, one of the few complaints that I'm having coming up is that they might have made it a little bit too easy in finding maps that lead you to all of the hidden stuff.
Okay, yeah.
So, when I rocked up in Giza, when I rocked up in Egypt, I'm pretty sure it's Giza, right?
I'm pretty sure it's
Giza.
Well, it is
Giza.
Giza.
Yeah, Giza.
So it makes sense.
Gaza's the other one.
Yes. I honestly, when you said that, I thought that you changed locations.
No, I haven't yet. I haven't yet because... So, the Vatican's relatively small. And I didn't have any of the problems I'm having with Egypt with the Vatican, which was... When I just arrived in Egypt, by the time I'd done my first, hour there, I had already 90% of the collectibles on my map. So I just, go here, find this.
Yeah, okay.
Which... They do have... I don't know how I did it. I think it might have been a glitch because I didn't buy anything until much, much later. Because you can buy the maps and stuff. They cost money. And I didn't buy any of them.
Can you also find them?
No.
Oh, so it's only through buying.
It's only through buying, so you have to go and find the money.
It's definitely a glitch.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Because there's some maps you can find that are secret areas that have maps in them to other things. But the main stuff is you've got to buy the maps. And that's a really good system because to get the money to buy the maps, you've got to explore to begin with. So it's a really good thing for especially people who want that option, who are like, oh, I've spent the last 4 hours of the game exploring this area. I still haven't found everything. I'm going to go get the map.
It makes sense.
But what happened, and what I think happened is, in my first hour of being in Egypt, I had to go to the store. I looked at some stuff. I then stopped the game pretty much immediately, and I think it went, oh, you were picking these up, so you must now have them.
Oh.
Even though I didn't have them and I could go and buy them still, it was like, oh, you must have them, so it unlocked everything. Now, I think that's a glitch, and I hope that's a glitch, because I didn't have this issue in the Vatican. But I am having it here where, everything was just there, good to go, and I was like, oh, okay.
I mean, it sounds like a glitch.
That's my one beef with it, though. That part there where it's like, hey, do you not want to do what this game is about and explore? Here are the...
Well, it sounds like it's one of those accidental ones that they just wouldn't have picked up because they wouldn't really expect someone to just stop the game in there.
I think that's fair.
It makes sense that it's just a bug.
So basically, where I am now is I have, for all intents and purposes, finished the story where it is in Egypt.
Okay.
I still have a few things left to finish.
Yep.
So, in the Vatican, I was very much like, I'm going to do all of this on camera. I don't think I'm going to do that for Egypt. It's just too big. If I'm being honest, I think the Egypt map is 5 times the size of the Vatican map.
Okay, yeah.
Just with all the walking. And, that's fine, but it also has a lot more secret areas, and you've got to go into tombs, and a lot of what I've got left to find is backtracking through areas I've already been.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And just, focusing on getting what's in there. So,
makes sense.
There is one mission I still have to do that I will put on into the next recording, which is the Fight Club thing, because who doesn't want to watch that? It's me beating up Nazis. It's Indiana Jones in a fucking...
Wait, was it an actual Fight Club?
Yeah, you go into a back room and you got to wear the uniform to pretend to be one of them, and then you get into a boxing ring and you just get to beat some guys down. It's very Indiana Jones.
It makes sense.
So that will be, because that is an actual mission, I think. But like the rest of the things, the few things I have left to pick up and the few books I have left to pick up, I think I'm going to do a bit of that off camera, just because I can see that taking another about 2 hours just in all the travel and going backwards and forwards and into secret areas and all that kind of stuff. And I don't think that that's really going to be worth it.
I suppose you could do it and just cut a lot of the monotonous walking.
Problem is that, like, the walking isn't really that long. Like, yeah, you'll be walking for like 2 minutes, but then you're going, okay, now I'm going back down this tunnel and I'm walking around this dark tomb, and I'm halfway through the tomb where I went this way for the main story. Now I've got to go this way, and I think it's just easier to just be like, guys, we're back under the Sphinx. You've seen under the Sphinx.
Yeah, okay.
We were already here. It's just this time I know that there's something hidden here in this area that I couldn't get to before.
See, I'd still think, like, record it honestly, just in case you find something that it's interesting.
Yeah,
I think that would be worth it. It does require a lot of cutting, but
my only issue is that, again, I think that it's going to be another like 2 hours just to finish it all off. Whereas like the only real new thing I have to do there is that fight club. Yeah. So either way, that you probably I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna get it all done, but I probably won't record most of it, or you guys won't see most of it, just because a lot of it is backtracking. A lot of it is like, oh fuck, I've got to go over here to get this one thing, and then travel all the way over here to get this other one thing, and then travel back to here, and then so it's just a lot of that kind of stuff. That's kind of the problem with big maps.
True.
Especially, so to keep everything fresh and all of that for the story, it's like you go to each place maybe once. Which sense. Means you can't actually like just be like, I'm going to grab all this while I'm here for the story, because that doesn't work.
Makes sense.
And so so there's I'm not done in Egypt yet, but I am getting there. It's just everything's kind of taking a little bit more time than it was in the Vatican, mainly because everything is just so spread out, and it's like, the Vatican was quite condensed, so everything was like, oh, you go here, you will find like 4 things, or it's like, here you go, oh, I'm here, there's one thing, and you go, okay, where's the next one? Oh, it's over at this next point. Okay, and you got to go there, and you got to go crawl through its tomb and all that kind of stuff. But as I said, the reality is I really enjoy the game. If you are into adventure games, or you do like Indiana Jones, I would suggest picking it up and playing it. Yeah. And if you have Game Pass, you can do it for free. So
that's true, yeah.
Give it a go. Like, just give it a go, because if you like the original 3 Indiana Jones, if you were questionable with the 4th one, and if you did not at all enjoy the 5th one, you'll probably like this game.
That sounds about right.
You're not playing a 70-year-old Indiana Jones Harrison Ford. You are playing a peak Indiana Jones who is in his Nazi punching prime. And that's
You really enjoy the Nazi punching.
It's classic Indiana Jones.
Yeah, I know, but you keep bringing it up, so it seems like it's your favorite part.
I feel like it's just a good way to go about things.
Punching Nazis.
Yeah.
Just in general?
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like if you can walk out of a day being like, well, I punched a Nazi, you've had a good day.
Yeah, okay. It's a fair point. I'll give you that.
Yeah. But as I said, like you've got to, like, you just got to go into the game expecting what it is, which is it's more about the exploration. It's more about like the adventure that's unfolding, and yes, you can pick up guns, and there's lots of guns to play around with.
Yeah. But
that's really not what it's about. And yes, if you watch me play, you'll notice that I get into far too many shootouts. Far too many. But that's because I suffer from impatience. And sometimes it's just easier to solve your problems
with a gun,
with some hot lead.
I mean, that's not wrong.
Especially if a bunch of guys come at you for no reason, which they did in the latest episode. I'm minding my own business. I'm allowed to be there. And this guy's like, hey, you, I don't like you. And I'm like, oh, yeah, well, I have a gun. And that, the only problem...
This sounds very familiar.
The problem with that whole play is that I did that in the middle of their encampment. Their big encampment, too.
Then how are you supposed to be there?
I was wearing the direct disguise. And the guy who saw...
Doesn't mean you're supposed to be there. It just means you were wearing the correct disguise.
The guy that, saw me wasn't one of the guys that sees through disguises. So, I think because...
Okay.
I'm a little bit iffy about what happened there.
Okay.
Because I had already walked through that building, 10 minutes earlier.
Okay.
But now I was there doing a mission where I was supposed to be rescuing someone who was being held prisoner by them. And so
it makes it easier to be seen?
I was like, maybe the game is confused and being like, oh, well, if they see you,
maybe
they'll get angry. But I was wearing the correct disguise that allowed me to be there, and I think the game just went, ignore the disguise. You're not allowed to be there.
I mean,
that's really my only thing. Because the other thing was I'd also just
very weird.
I'd also knocked out a dude in the other room who had no issue with me being there, but there's also no way in hell that they could have seen me do that. And also, they didn't react to me knocking him out. They reacted to me walking across a room.
Okay,
it's a little bit weird. That one definitely felt like a bug, but what it ended up with was a lot of guys getting shot. Okay, a lot of guys getting shot.
So what's your outlook on ending a day with shooting a Nazi?
Pretty good day.
Pretty good. Better than punching a Nazi?
Yes and no.
Okay.
So yes, because
Nazis
you've removed that Nazi from the world. But
Figured
no, because that Nazi can't live with the shame of being punched in the face. So, it's a bit of a full basket.
Fair enough. Fair.
What is in the end of the day, what is worse? Being taken out or having to live with the shame of being beaten up by an academic? I don't know.
You've made a valid point.
So that was Indiana Jones. Moving right along to Wednesday. Chris.
Yes,
came out
indeed.
Wednesday. Do you know?
Now that we're on the right page here, it was Battlefield 6.
It's Battlefield 6.
I was paying attention.
Part of Battlefield 6.
I just got my days mixed up, man. Come on, I got the right things.
Let me tell you. Let me tell you right now.
Yeah.
I love that game. I really do. As I said, it's not a perfect game. It's not the best Battlefield game. I still think that belongs to either Battlefield 1 or Battlefield 4. Kind of depends on your preference there. Battlefield 1, I think, is a better game. However, if you are into modern shooters and like guns that go, not guns that go bang, 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 Battlefield 4 is probably your preferred choice.
Yeah.
I feel like for a lot of people, the price of entry into Battlefield 1, which was, it's World War One, chump. Ain't no fucking assault rifles here, was a bit of a turn off. They're like, what do you mean I have to use a bolt action rifle? And it's like, yeah, everyone did.
Yeah, it was a thing. And back then it was good.
The past was quite literally not full of AK-47s.
No, what?
Yeah, I know.
What do you want about?
It's shocking. But I think if you want to look at like the peak of the game of the Battlefield games, it's those two.
Yeah.
And then it's just personal preference which one you put higher. As I said, if you're into the more modern stuff, then Battlefield 4, you're gonna be like, that's the greatest. Yeah. If you're into the more,
historical.
I was gonna say like just the way it plays and the way it feels. Battlefield 1 is better. Like,
fair enough.
And if you are into historical stuff, Battlefield 1 feels absolutely great because a lot of the battles, like you feel like you're always on this kind of knife edge, and one push with enough manpower and stuff could win the day.
Yeah.
Probably like they did back in World War One, and then you realize that You know, much like World War One, you did win the day, and that one push did do it. And what do you have to show for it? Nothing, because it's a video game. Much like in World War One, where they were like, "What do we have to show for it? A few meters of fucking mud."
Yeah. That's about it.
But yeah, so that's kind of the argument there that I always put up with.
Yep.
Those are the peak. I know a lot of people say like, "Oh, Battlefield Bad Company 1, I believe."
Mm-hmm.
I never played it when it came out. I played it a lot afterwards, and I think at that point I was like, "No, Battlefield." Like story-wise, I think Bad Company is better, but Battlefield 4 multiplayer just outshone it. Sorry if that hurts your feelings.
Fair enough.
Battlefield 6 is great. I love it. It's got so many things that I want them to do with it that they like. I'm hoping we're gonna see some life upgrades.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't want to say quality of life upgrades, just because like they would be, but they're at the same time, like, if they don't make these upgrades, it's just going to hurt the game.
Mm-hmm.
But if you've never played Battlefield 4, which how old it is, like,
I suppose,
I was, when I started playing that, I was still a teenager. I was a late teenager. I was 19, but I was a teenager. So the reality is there's probably gamers now who have never played it.
Yeah, I can guarantee there are some.
Exactly. So, well, yes, but I mean like people who would have played it, but were just too young at the time.
Yeah.
And so they don't have the comparison between the two, which
I
I
suppose.
have.
Yeah.
So when I look at it and I go, oh, okay, well, I want to upgrade my tank, and I look at my tank upgrades, and there's no things like optics, where it's like, hey, do you want the thermal optics or the night vision optics? And it's like, no, that's just not an option. I'm like, why? When I look at the jet and stuff, and I say, oh, there were these upgrades in the past, and they're not there anymore, I go, why? So they're the type of things that I think they need to look at and be like, this gave options to make gameplay more, like the way it is now is like the tanks are really, you're going to come up against one of 3 tanks. Whereas back in Battlefield 4, it was like, I don't know what that tank is running.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
You might be sitting there being like, because I know there's no optics options in Battlefield 6 for tanks.
Yeah.
I'm like, as long as I'm sitting here, not doing anything, that tank won't see me because I'm sitting in a bush. And the tank will roll right past me.
Unless it accidentally rolls on top of you. At which point it's not an accident, because it would be smart to roll over that bush.
Yeah. The thing is, that's pretty easy to avoid, because once it gets to like just around you, you move, and it's like the driver can't see you.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
But because I know they don't have thermal optics. Yeah. I know I'm not like, I know if a tank's coming and I'm lying there sniping, it just rolls past, and I'm like, they didn't see me, I'm good to keep going. Whereas in the past, I'd be like, oh fuck, that tank's there. If they've got thermal optics, they're like, there's a dude lying right there. And they're just gonna get that machine gun and and it's the same for when you're like doing vehicle gunning. Like, you used to be able to get thermal optics on your vehicle gun, so you'd be sitting there on the turret and you'd be like, I think there's guys up there somewhere. I can't really see them with my normal optic. Let's picture on the oh look, there they are, all 3 of them lying there, and you just boop, boop, and they go, oh no, thermal. Well, they don't have that at the moment, and so I do feel they need to bring that in. One, because that's how modern vehicles are. They all have advanced optics, and 2, it adds more variety to the game.
True.
Then there's other things I've talked about, like weapons. I think they're going to get more of them. If it's anything like any of the past games, and when I say the past games, I specifically referred to those 2 that I put up and said those are the best.
Yeah, of course.
They have DLC that comes out after a bit of time that add new maps, new weapons, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff, and that's great. If that comes out, that'll be fantastic. How it will be rolled out, I don't know, because, as I said, we are so far removed from those 2 games.
Yeah, makes sense.
That the whole way we do DLC is different now.
It is very true, yes.
But yeah, so that's sort of where I am. I like the game. I really enjoy playing it. It is a fun game. If you are a fan of Battlefield, you will like it. It is not the best though, because I feel like I feel maybe they were a little bit confused, because everyone has been going for like operator shooters or hero shooters, sort of.
Yeah.
Over the past, like, let's call it 5 years, 10 years, maybe.
I would be saying closer to 10.
Yeah, it's getting there.
But not quite there, yeah.
But, like, we saw it with Call of Duty, where instead of being like, you're these guys, you look like this. They were like, you're this team, you have this list of operators, and you're this team, you have this list. And it was like, oh, cool. This doesn't make it hard at all to tell who's on my team and who's not. Well, Battlefield did exactly the same thing, which was terrible.
Yeah, it's never been good.
No. And, well, especially not in, like, 64-player maps, where you have 32 friends and 31 friends.
I mean, like, don't get me wrong, it's worked in some situations. Like, Siege didn't do too bad with the operators.
Yeah, but Siege also had a very... So, the operators, one, looked like military people. That's an important distinction. And two, they only added like one operator or two operators every couple of months.
Yeah.
And it was like, this one's an attacker, this one's a defender. And you're like, okay, I don't have to learn 8 new attackers and 8 new defenders.
True, yeah.
And so you were pretty much sitting there going like, okay, so this is this is that. And the way that they rolled it out back in the past was quite literally, you had to buy the new operators. So no one really had them to begin with.
Yeah, fair.
And so you had time to kind of adjust to who they were and what they did. And I think Siege was a game based on the operators, because the whole point was build a good team. So if you're looking at it and you've got five people on a team who all focus on fortification, you've gone, oh shit, we put together a shit team because we don't have anyone out there who's roaming, blah, blah. Anyway, I feel like Siege was less of a, like, in a weird way, Siege was more like League of Legends than it was Call of Duty, because it was like everyone in Siege had a role to fill. And if you had 2 people playing the same role, your team was weaker. Where, as in Call of Duty, it just doesn't matter. Everyone's running around with the best gun because it's the best gun.
Except for me.
Yeah.
I ran around with whatever the hell I wanted to.
Yes, well, there's that. But anyway, the point that I'm trying to make is that, like, I feel like when they went, oh, we've got to pull back from this, especially after Battlefield 2042 or whatever it was, I can't remember.
That sounds right.
The one that sucked. They were like, oh, pull back, and they did pull back, but they weren't really sure how to pull back.
Okay, makes sense.
And I say this with like the best will, but just no understanding. They didn't look at Battlefield 4 and be like, we're trying to do this. How do we do this? Oh, we take this and we make it new. Like, you know how sometimes that kind of is the reality of it, is like, hey, we did this really well in the past. Let's take it and just do it again. I call it the Pokémon strategy. But
so true.
This is the concept. It worked. Take it. Pokemon didn't even make it look better. They were just like, take it, make a few new ones, don't change anything.
They did do that.
But, like, so take it...
Well, they made it look better eventually.
Yeah. Take it from Battlefield 4, make it look new, look at the systems you had there and say, oh, you could do this and you could do... Oh, we should do that and we should do this. And, you know, and then don't go like, oh, they did this, but do people really want that much option? Yes, people do want that much option. Especially if it's a gameplay option, not a cosmetic option.
I was going to say a character creation option.
See,
we know we want those.
This is the issue though that everyone's going to run into.
Yeah.
Cosmetic options can be limited.
Yeah.
People will be like, "Oh, I wish I had this cosmetic." Cool. That's fine. Add them later on. However, gameplay options. People want gameplay options. Yeah. Especially if it makes things better. Like, I remember when you were playing Battlefield 4 in the tank, and getting the thermal optics meant you had to be good in a tank.
Well, yeah.
But when you got it, it was like, oh, yes, I've been working for this. Whereas now it's kind of like, oh, what can I unlock? I can unlock different ammo types.
Which doesn't really give much of an advantage.
The tank's job is to take out other tanks. I don't really care about this is the shot that you can use your big gun to take out troopers. I have a machine gun for that.
Yeah.
And yes, I have a 50 cal machine gun. That's very good at taking out troopers. I don't need canister shot. True. In fact, my job is to, if I'm driving around in this tank, my job is to take out other tanks.
Yeah.
I need weapons that can do that, and I need equipment that makes that easier. Stuff like thermal optics is where that used to be, because when you were up against a tank that didn't have it, you were like, I can see you, bang, and they're like, oh shit, where'd that come from? I can't see. Oh shit, and then they die.
I know. Yeah.
And then you had about 6 or 7 different equipment options. So it'd be like, you can take countermeasures, or you can take better armor, or you can take faster healing and all that kind of stuff. So better engineering stuff, or you can take an auto loader, which makes your loading faster. They have 2 options for equipment at the moment. There's 2 different, there's 2 equipment slots, and each of them has 2 item choices, but it's cool. It's like, I can have countermeasures, or I can have smoke. I can have faster repairing, or I can have slightly better armor. That's it. And I'm like, it's not bad. Don't get me wrong, this is a massive step in the right direction, but Battlefield 4 is what you were copying. You should have looked there and been like, holy shit, they've got 20 options for tank equipment. We got 4. How do we do that? How did we do that? How did we do that and be like...
By making it better.
That's a good idea. So I don't know. But I do enjoy the game. I love playing it. I think if you're after that kind of feel right now, it is the best at it. And when I say that feel, what I mean is large-scale competitive multiplayer, not extraction shooters. I know it has an extraction shooter. I guarantee you that a lot of the problems we have is because they built the extraction shooter.
Yeah,
and they were like, oh, we can't have this because that would be unfair in the extraction shooter. Don't care. Extraction shooters are fine if you want to play an extraction shooter. I don't think you buy Battlefield to play an extraction shooter.
I don't even think I've seen a video on it yet.
Yeah, I don't know how good it is, but I honestly don't care either.
Yeah.
I remember when Halo Infinite came out. It has, and trust me, Halo Infinite has problems. As a Halo lover, I know this. But one of the big things I was hearing from a lot of people was, doesn't even have a battle royale or extraction shooter. And I was like, it's Halo. It shouldn't have those. It's not fucking every other game. It's Halo. You should be playing it for what it offers and what it does best, which, is questionable now. But when it used to do best, it was the best fast-paced first-person shooter.
Yeah.
It had great time to kill.
Without sprinting.
Never sprinted. Not until Halo Reach.
I love bringing it up.
Anyway, but that was it. So I think maybe a few of my issues come from the fact that they've tried to balance it for an extraction shooter. And I understand that. But fuck that. Say, this is how you balance it for this. You make them all base.
Yeah.
Everything's base. If you want to play the multiplayer where the part of the game is the progressioning, unlocking better things and cool stuff, go back to Battlefield 4 and look at what you had there and go like, okay, so yeah, guys, we've got a lot to add to this game. Because I think that's what they need to do.
Yeah,
I think that's how
right.
you take it from where it currently is, which is good and fun, to putting it up there on a pedestal with those other two games.
Yeah.
That's my piece. Obviously, guys, on Friday we have the podcast. If you're here watching this, thank you for joining us. This is the Minecraft week, so there will be some more Sky Factory from me and Kris. It's a lot of making trees and getting attacked by things because
you finally got it set up.
Honestly, guys, there is so much going on in that game, and I am slowly remembering some of it. So we're still going back, and for me, it's a lot of relearning what I've already done.
Yeah.
It has been a very long time since I played Sky Factory. There's a lot to learn or relearn.
Yeah.
And there's a whole lot that I never even got to.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know it's there. I never even attempted it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm also trying to sort out what I remember from Sky Factory 4 and Sky Factory 3.
Okay. Yeah.
That's also a whole different thing.
Yeah.
But we are improving. We are getting more resources. We are remembering more things to make things faster. And by the end of the 2 episodes that we've filmed, so, there's a bit of a gap for you guys, but this one, we make one major breakthrough. By the end of the next one, we've kind of made it to a point where everything should start happening faster. So there probably will be in the future a few Sky Factory Let's Builds. So sort of just me going in to build stuff, because we do need some stuff built. Especially tree management, that needs to be built. Yes. I have an idea on that. It's going to take some time. So what my plan is to go in, build the fundamentals for what's going to be there so that we can move all the trees there, and then slowly continue as we get more and more resources to build it the way that I envision it. But I do have a plan. I know what I want to put there. I know how it's going to be. Me and Kris have talked about this. And so I just need to go in and build it. However, that's more something that I would do on my own time, because when I'm working there with Kris, the idea has to be to use both of us to push forward. Because basically, if I'm just sitting around building, there's no achievement. No, we're not going forwards.
No,
we're not going forwards. We kind of need Science Officer Darcy to do that stuff. So I can't be Builder Darcy. So Builder Darcy's going to show up in other like supplementary stuff, kind of like we always did with other Minecraft. It's just you're going to get some Sky Factory where I'm just building. Basically, that's where we are with Minecraft. We are pushing forward, but we are.
And it's slow for now.
It is slow for now. We are going to get to a point where it excels. It just excels. Like, it just goes faster. Because we'll start automating a lot more things. However, once we get to that point, we will also run into... We'll probably also run into problems where it's just kind of like... we just don't have enough of this material at this point in time, so that has to stop, and we have to go and do something else, and more and more stuff's going to be added, and that's going to make things more difficult. So there will be a whole kind of process there going on, I suppose. But so that's Minecraft. Other than that, guys, the shorts are still coming out. I work on that sometimes.
Of course, sometimes.
And subscriber count, Kris.
We're at 343, so I assume it's fluctuated a lot over the last week again.
It's been a weird week. Again, I haven't looked at it in the past day and a half, but we were at 345, then we were at 344, now we're at 343. Now, it's been one of those things where it just, I can't tell you what's going on behind the scenes, but it's just been one of those things where it's like 3 or 4 subscribers are like just, and they'll pop up and it'll be like, hey, you got this new subscriber, but they won't add to the numbers, and then the numbers will go down, but I don't see any losses of subscribers or whatever. It's just a weird thing. I can't tell you what's going on. YouTube apparently does this. Hey,
Okay.
who am I to complain?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that just about wraps up channel news.
I think so.
So,
Okay. Yeah.
over the last couple of podcasts, we've been talking about video games and talking about board games.
We have.
Let me tell you, I love games. I love all games.
I believe we've stated this many times.
Specifically, though, I'm having trouble.
Okay.
So, I recently purchased a new Pokemon game on the Switch.
ZA?
Yes, Legends ZA.
Yeah.
Now, I don't mind it. It's a Pokemon game. I honestly am not the biggest Pokemon fan. Shoot me. I just, I like it. I just never really cared too much about all of the... I want to charitably say that I'm not one of those people who is like the adult who's like sitting there being like, no, but you got to do this with your Pokemon. You got to do this and you got to do that. I'm like, no. The whole point of it is to have fun.
I am still, without a doubt, a brute forcer.
Yeah, pretty much.
Literally, all of any Pokemon that I have is all attack, nothing else, and then I just get them up to a level that it doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah, and that's kind of like the thing, because so recently I've been looking into playing Crystal, Yellow, and Emerald.
Oh, okay, going to the third of the series.
Yeah, because they're kind of the complete versions, if you will.
Yeah, I played Crystal.
Yeah.
I never played Red, Blue, or Yellow.
Yeah, not surprising. We were probably a little bit young at the time.
Tad. And then Emerald, I did play Emerald actually.
So I really didn't get started on Pokemon until Leaf Green came out, which is the enhanced version of original.
I think I played Silver first, but that's because we got it off someone when we were super young for the Game Boy.
Yep. Then
I think Leaf Green was the next one I played, but it was an emulator on the PC.
Like I wasn't the biggest Pokemon person. I enjoyed my time playing Leaf Green, but because it was on a Game Boy, it was sort of one of those things where it's like, oh, we're going out. I'll take this with me, and if I get bored, like, while we're out and about or at this so-and-so's house, I can pull it out and I can play a bit of it. Which is great. That's what I kind of feel like Pokemon was for.
The worst part was trying to play it on long drives at night when you didn't have a torch.
Yeah, so...
Because you're against the window, just be like, light bulb.
So, like, I wasn't the biggest Pokemon person, and I never cared for the whole, like, min-maxing of Pokemon.
Yeah.
And I also didn't really care for being like, I've got to get through this as fast as possible. Because I was always like, to me, the point of the game was to collect all the Pokemon, not to be like, I managed to get through everything as fast as possible by making the best team possible and staying within the level caps. Because, like, I was always someone like, it's like, oh, you're going to go take on this gym? I'm like, yeah, I'm going to go take it on. And they're like, oh, what's your team? Doesn't matter because they're all like level 80. And it's like, oh, you're going to go take on the Elite Four who are like level 60 max with, no, you don't. You're going to win.
Yeah, it was the way I took my time as well. By the time I got to the first gym, I'm generally like level 25. And so,
so I never cared. I was never one of these people who was like, no, the first gym you should be hitting within the first hour. It's like, I hit the first gym when I'm good and ready, thank you. But, so I've recently, like, gone back and, like, I want to play a few more Pokemon games because I enjoy them. I enjoy the collectathon that it is. And I think that's how I see them. I don't really see them as anything else. I think, like, collectathon pretty much describes them perfectly.
In the later ones, it's hard.
I know, but
because there's so many now. And it's, like... And then they add DLC, and it's like, oh, by the way, we've added more.
Yeah, but that's okay because I don't intend to play them like lock in. Let's fucking go. It's like something where I can just pick up and play. And so I recently bought the new Legends game, which I'm enjoying. It's sort of fun. It's a little bit French, but whatever.
I'm aware it's a little bit French. I believe that's.
I chose Chikorita as my starting Pokemon.
What were the other two?
The other two were Totodile.
Okay.
And Tepig. See the baby of Ember?
I believe so. I would have gone with the same choice, to be honest. Yeah.
Look, Tepig wasn't really. I know it's a good Pokemon if you're into the stats, but you've got to remember, I'm like Gen 1. Like, I may not have started playing Pokemon, and when I did start playing, I actually was playing Gen 1. But for me, it's the Gen 1 Pokemon, and it's all about the rule of cool. That's why, even though Charmander is the bad choice, you choose him because, I got a turtle, I've got a plant, I've got a motherfucking dragon.
You got a motherfucking dragon, which they refuse to accept as being a dragon.
Until X and Y. Which I believe this one has, because this one has Mega Evolutions. ZA has Mega Evolutions.
Yeah, that's right, and that's when they added the dragon. Dragon typing.
But
yeah.
So I want to start off by saying I bought ZA, and so one of the very first things that happened was they gave me a Ralts with the Gardevoir Mega Evolution.
Okay.
And I got a Charizard, a level 34 Charizard. So I'm just like, here, I have a level 34 Charizard. Everything else I have is level 6. I got a level 34 Charizard.
Is that for buying? Just huh? Did you buy an edition for the game?
No, that was just a free gift they gave up until like a couple days ago.
Okay.
So I got a big boy. Which I love because again, Charizard is that. So for me, the by the time you get to like level like Gen 4 and 5 Pokemon, I can't really care too much about the starters. I know Froakie is somewhere in that range, and he actually is a cool starter.
Oh yeah, because you get fucking Greninja. Hell yeah.
But there's a lot of the starters now that I'm like, I don't care.
No.
I think in Sword and Shield, I picked no, because I did not pick the stupid water one. I think I may have picked.
You mean the depressed water one?
Yes, because I don't want that.
Yeah, and then I went with.
I also didn't want the rabbit because it looks stupid.
So you know why I went with the rabbit? Because in the end, I was like, when I looked at the final evolution, I'm like, that's a Digimon.
I think that's why I think that's why I tried to avoid choosing it.
Yeah,
because I was just like, oh.
I literally just went through chose it and then renamed it to just be Cindrusmon. Yeah. Because I'm like, it's a fucking Digimon. And I like Digimon over Pokemon, so
I'm pretty sure I think I chose the monkey that ends up playing the drums. Because I was like, well, okay.
Grookey?
And I think so.
I think Grookey, yeah.
And I in Violet and Scarlet, I ended up choosing Grass again, which is always a weird option for me because I actually
it's supposed to be the best option.
Oh, for me it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I know it does, but
I generally actually choose Fire because
I will go Fire.
You won't get a Fire Pokemon until much later.
Actually,
in the game.
No. There is one Grass type that I choose.
Who?
Trico.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the only one.
Who you see? Trico, Torchic, or Mudkip?
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
that generation.
It is the generation where it's like, I'm gonna go Blaziken, or I'm gonna go Sceptile. Shit. I think first time I played, I went with Fire just because Fire.
Yeah.
And then next time I played the game, I think it was playing on an emulator for that one. I went with Trico.
But I did do some research because, as I said, I don't hate Ember and his line. I just don't prefer them.
Yeah.
Over, like, if you have the choice of a Gen 2 starter, or a Gen like 5 or 6 starter, you're choosing Gen 2 because that was when they were still making them cool.
Oh yeah.
For Alligator, I'm like, no. But for Alligator or Bayleaf, it's Bayleaf. I can't remember if Bayleaf is the end one.
No, it's not.
No, it's something.
That's the second last one.
That's the second one, and that's all I ever remember about Chikorita's line is that he does go to Bayleaf. But I was like, okay, so I've got two good options. Remember it. I'm like a leaf dinosaur or a water crocodile. I'm like, honestly, it doesn't matter for this game because I'll be able to catch all of the starters because the Legends games are like that. So it wasn't the biggest choice. But the reason I bring that up is, as I said, I want to play some of the old ones. Now, obviously, the only way to emulate to play them is to emulate them.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm not going to find a Game Boy sitting around, and, well, I actually have one somewhere, but I'm also not going to be able to get it up and running because I might have one charger lying around, and its battery might work.
So I do have one that does work. You just need batteries.
Cool. That's not too bad though.
Yeah.
But my biggest issue is and I came across this with both video games and board games.
Yeah.
And it's something where we've got that whole movement now to stop killing video games.
Ooh, actually, I think I have one of the original TSs as well. So if you've got the Game Boy Advance cartridge, you can play it on there.
So I probably have one of those around. I have my 3DS and I have my SP somewhere.
Oh shit, you got the SP?
Yeah.
I never got the SP.
Yeah. It had a light built into it.
I know, it was great.
But anyway, the point that I'm trying to make is that not only is with some of these old video games, and it's why I really get mad at Nintendo.
Yeah.
Because they have the Switch now.
Mm-hmm.
They have emulators on the Switch. They refuse to put the Pokemon games on there.
I'm aware.
And you're like, why? You're not...
Because they're not going to put it in the emulator unless they're going to charge for it.
But
that's the thing. And the thing is,
charge.
People will buy it.
Because, here's the thing. Okay, Nintendo are, especially if you're in the Switch, they are notorious for not changing prices. Mm-hmm. Everything is the same price it was on the day it released, and you will accept that.
Yep.
Fine, cool. If you were to put out the old Pokemon game as emulation chips, right? Yeah. You buy it and you can run it on the Switch. That's it. No questions asked. You wouldn't be able to charge $60 for them. You would have to charge around $20.
Yeah.
But people would buy that because the only current way to buy it or to play them is to be a bad person.
And do it illegally.
Or be a rich person.
And then track
go
it down.
And buy a functioning Game Boy as well as someone who's got a functioning fucking chip who's probably going to sell them because if it's working and they know you want it, they're probably going to sell it at about $300 just for one of those old games.
Yep.
Because there's an artificial scarcity of it.
Oh, yeah.
So, there's not really a scarcity because you can just pirate everything. However, you shouldn't because, for reasons. But I always kind of come back to the argument on pirating, especially when it comes to video games. It's that's the only fucking option sometimes. And people go, oh, but it's not good. It's like, no, it's the only fucking option. Because where the fuck am I going to be able to get a functioning Nintendo 64 as well as the fucking cartridge for this game that they stopped making over 20 years ago? And it's like, oh, dude, if you've just got 10 grand lying around, we can do that for you. And it's like, I don't. I would love to go back and play one of these old games.
Yeah.
But Nintendo are literally being like, no. No, you can't.
Nope.
No. And it's like, I have the money. I'm willing to pay. And they're like, oh, no. It's like, I sit there and I say, why isn't there a GameCube emulator on the Switch? My only reasoning is that there's too few GameCube games for them to say, let's do this.
Yeah,
there's too few that they would actually want you to play.
Yeah.
So just release the fucking Wind Waker.
Yeah.
Be like, here it is.
Mm-hmm.
It works on the Switch. We didn't do anything to it.
Yeah.
Give us $60. I would pay $60 fucking dollars for the Wind Waker. But they won't do it. And I'm like, I want to play the Wind Waker. And they're like, nah. You could always go and buy a GameCube. They didn't work when they came out. And they're probably not going to work now. And you probably pay through the fucking teeth for it. And it still won't work. But you can do that. If you want to play Wind Waker, do that. And I'm like, Nintendo, just fucking take my money, please. Do what I want and take my money.
Oh, shit.
This is the same for board games, though, except it's a little bit worse for board games, because you'll be like, hey, do you remember this board game? People will be like, oh, yeah, that was great. It was a great board game. And you go, can I get it now? And they're like, nah, they stopped printing it like 20 years ago. And you go, oh. And they go, yeah, it's about $5,000 now. And you're like, fuck. It's like, so I have to buy it off someone, and I might need get one that's in a good condition. I'm going to be paying through my teeth. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And if I buy one that's cheaper, you're probably not getting most of the game. Excellent. Yeah, mind you, I will say this.
Yeah.
That's becoming less and less of an issue in the modern world with 3D printers.
True.
I can print out parts. Only issue is if it's something like Risk, where it's like, you need this many parts, there's going to be a lot of printing. But, doable.
Oh, yeah.
What annoys me probably more than anything, and I know that for companies who own these things, they're like, oh, one person wants this? No, it's not worth our time to actually do it.
No.
But there are so many things out there where it's like, we will stop you from doing this. No, you can't do that because that is our property. And you're like, then sell it to me. No.
Exactly.
It's like, I want it. Obviously, there are people who want this. And they're like, yes. And you're like, so sell it to us. No, you can't have it. And that's what fucking kills me about all of it. It's the same with all media, I think. Like,
it is.
I know we've run through, like, I've run through the issue now, right? I want to watch the Clone Wars, but I don't want to stream it on Disney Plus. What I want to do
is own it.
Is own the DVDs. And I say, well, can I buy the DVDs? And Disney goes, no, we stopped printing them when we started streaming stuff. And you go, why? Because we stream stuff now. Yes, but I don't want my media collection dictated to me by a company. I want to have it and to own it and to hold it. And yes, that does mean I'm going to pay a premium.
Yeah.
You'll notice I don't own any anime because I've yet to come across a series that I'm like, I'm willing to spend over $100 to have that.
That's fair. Like I was looking for it middle of last year, trying to find the Digimon, like the original Digimon series.
$5,000.
No, I cannot find it with Region 0 or Region 2. Everything is Region 1.
That actually shouldn't be an issue. You have a PlayStation 5 and an Xbox One. Oh. They are not region locked.
Oh.
In fact, even
that's
if you
still me spending $200, but that's not the point.
Even if you only had an Xbox
Series X,
no, Xbox One. Sorry,
Xbox One S.
The Xbox One is not region locked.
Okay.
So, because I actually ran into that issue on my shelf, maybe I have a copy of Conquer Live and Reloaded.
Yes, you do.
From America.
Yes.
I can't play it on my Xbox or my Xbox 360.
Okay.
But it is backwards compatible on my Xbox One and higher because they're not region locked.
Huh.
So even though it's from the American one and doesn't work on Australian gear, as we got further and further pushed out, they just went, region locking's kind of dumb, isn't it?
It is. It really is. Okay, see, now that I hadn't actually looked into, so this means I can actually buy it.
Yeah, region locking doesn't exist anymore. Also, so like if you have a brand new Blu-ray player, I don't know why you would. Most people don't do that anymore, but they're not region locked either.
Well, technically, I do have a brand new Blu-ray player.
Two, actually. 3, actually.
Yes.
4, actually.
Yes, I have 4. Oh, actually,
5,
no.
actually.
I don't have a PS4.
Oh.
I did actually give that to Cooper and Violet.
But the point is that there is a lot of places now, especially with like digital media or just as things are getting older, and they refuse to make it digital media, and you're like, please just make it available. We have the ability to have them available, and they go, no.
Nope.
We will hold this, and you shall never have it. And it's like, but I just fucking want. And like for 90% of it, it's like, especially Disney. I hate Disney so much for this, and video game companies as well.
Yep.
You have it. It in itself is digital.
Yep.
And you're like, no, you can't have it. It's like, dude, just fucking give it to it. No. Stupid. And you're just in there, and you know. And for the longest time, when I've talked to people about this, they've been like, "Oh no, but you can just you can just stream it. Like it's on streaming channels." And it's like, yes, but I feel like I'm more vindicated now when I say this because, Disney did that whole thing. I think mid 2024 and last year as well, where they were like, "We're removing a bunch of stuff off our streaming site." Because what people don't understand is to have it on a streaming site costs money because you've got to use the server space to have it there.
Yeah.
So for stuff that they deemed wasn't popular enough, they just removed it. So your streaming site doesn't have it anymore. And you're like, but I wanted to watch that. And they go, yeah, it's not available. Soz. And you go, well, how am I supposed to watch it now? And they're like, oh, we made DVDs of it 10 years ago. You can probably find them. And you're like,
no. Because the people who still have them aren't getting rid of them.
I'm going to be paying. I'm going to be paying hundreds of dollars for this if I can find it. Yeah. Could you make a reprint? No. Could we buy digital copies? No. You're just like, it's fucking already digital.
Yep.
I get it. Like, okay, a book. You want an old book, like an old fucking rule book for a game or something.
Yeah.
That was never digital. And it was like, oh man, hopefully someone's made a digital copy of this.
Yes.
You might be lucky. You might not. But video games, modern media, it's already digital. It's all sitting there on computers and they're just going like, no.
You can't.
And I get it. Like, to make the Wind Waker work on the Switch would probably need something.
Yes.
The easiest thing I can see is to just make a Switch GameCube emulator, not really tell anyone it's there, put it into it as an update, and then be like, oh, look, you can buy all these GameCube games, and they just work. And everyone be like, how did they do it? They must have spent a lot of time. No, they just made a GameCube emulator and didn't fucking tell you.
Yeah.
But they just refuse.
I know they do.
And it's like Wii
like, don't get me wrong, the
well.
emulators, like one of the emulators is still relatively new.
Yes.
So it seems like they are working on the emulators to put them on there. So there is a chance they may do it.
Yes, but I wonder how much the Switch 2 is going to affect that.
Yeah, that's actually
because like while they were doing all this stuff, they're like also like, hey, we're making the Switch 2. And as I've said, like, there's some stuff I haven't played my Switch in a long time, but there's some stuff I'm like kind of like, oh, this is interesting because they now have virtual game cards.
Okay.
I don't 100% know how they work because I haven't looked into them.
Yeah.
But I'll show you this after we finish filming. But basically, all of the stuff I've bought online, remember how I had to like constantly be flipping in new chips so that I could download them and have the space because it has no space on it?
Yeah.
Well, now it's just like, oh no, you just install the virtual game card and it runs. And it's like, so it's almost like it's cloud gaming on it. I would need.
I did hear talk about cloud gaming.
I would need to have a look into how it works, but it does seem better for a console that has such a piddly memory.
I mean, the cloud system does work a lot better for that.
Yes.
Yeah, and I agree.
And plus those games, the Switch games were never big. Like,
no.
Hey, you want to cloud game this 100-gigabyte game? It doesn't look great, but it can be done. You don't have to. Whereas, hey, you want to cloud game this gigabyte game? Yeah, okay.
Yeah. We're good. We're good with that.
But no, so like they've done some stuff which I'm like, oh well, that's made my life easier. Yeah. But at the same time, I'm also just so like, just do it. But the Switch 2, I can't in good conscience. I just can't in good conscience say anything positive about it because one, I don't have it to see if it's actually worth the money, and two, I can't see the value in it.
Yeah.
Now, something I have noticed as I've been buying stuff on the Switch, because there are still heaps of games I want to get on it, because unlike Xbox where I see a game and I go like, oh, I'll just wait a couple of weeks and see if it's on sale in the big sales that are coming up. Nintendo don't do that. So I'm like, I'll buy a game once in a blue moon.
Oh, and they've done sales before. That's just super rare.
And very rarely do they have the things you want in them.
Oh, yeah.
But there are a few games. But what I'm noticing is that they've like now got the Switch 2 version and the Switch version on everything. So that's a little bit worrying to begin with. But then there's also like a paid upgrade system, which is just as worrying. Wait. I'll show you again later. But it's kind of like you pay like $12 or something to upgrade your version to the Switch 2 version.
Okay, that's not bad.
Doesn't seem bad, except the Switch 2 version and the original Switch version are the same price. So basically, they're charging to upgrade you to something to save you money, and you go, "Well, I'm saving money." But the thing is, if you weren't being grandfathered into it, it wouldn't cost you a thing.
Yeah. So I hate that so much. I really do.
I think some of them have free upgrades. I could be wrong there. You know, correct me if I'm wrong. As I said, don't have a Switch 2, so I haven't done any of it. But I have definitely seen upgrade prices on things like $12. And again, as me and Kris just said, that sure as hell beats $80. But when the 2 version and the 1 version are the same price, and just because you've been grandfathered in because you have an original Switch when you bought it, and then you go upgrade to the Switch 2, you've already given them the money to upgrade to the Switch 2, and now they're saying like, "Oh yeah, for $12 you can get the new version of this game." And you go,
"See, I hate that almost as much as when well, yes, but when they release all of the DLC and they're like, hey, you know how we've got all the DLC out now?
Yeah.
Well, you can buy all of the DLC and the base game for cheaper than the base game."
Yeah.
I'd say, well, hang on. It's the one I hated it with the most was Final Fantasy 15.
Yeah.
Because I got it. I spent, $120 for the base game when it came out, because I got an edition back when I was still buying editions. And then
can't really blame them for you buying an edition.
No, but that's not the point. I then bought the DLCs.
See, that again's on you. Should have got an edition that had the DLCs included with them.
No, but that's the thing, is they didn't offer it until they brought out the the Royal Edition?
That's what I bought.
And that was like 2 years after the game originally came out. So
yeah, patience pays.
I'm aware.
Patience
but
saves
either way,
you
but
about
it went from
$70.
Wait, more.
Yes, but
I think
edition. Remember edition. So the base
game was like
$80.
I think it was 90 at the time.
It was 80.
Okay.
Then it was another $80 for the season pass.
Yes.
Right, and then the Royal Edition came out, and it was like $75.
No,
it was.
It was just under 70.
When it came out originally, it was 75. Then it dropped down to 70.
No, I'm pretty sure it dropped to 68. But either way, because I remember 60 being one of the numbers that I'm remembering from it. I'm like, this is bullshit.
But yes,
because by that point, like, I think I'd spent like $200 on the game, and I'm like, this.
But that's how it works. That's what happens, because unfortunately, if you want to be one of the first people playing a new game, you have to pay for some of the development costs. Once they've sold 1 million copies, give it away. Give it away.
Yeah.
But anyway, the big thing though that I find hilariously funny about all of it is just the fact that, like, we're kind of going back to that. So I don't know if you know this, but Final Fantasy VII Remake is finally coming out on the Xbox.
Yep.
In a couple of days. Like, we're days away from it.
Yeah.
I want to say 26th, but I might be wrong, and it might actually be the 21st. So it could already be out. It is just the first game. You can get it for a pretty good price. Yeah. But I'm like, this is kind of the problem with stuff like this. It's like, Final Fantasy 17 is a cornerstone of gaming. Its remake was kind of, I want to say, kind of what started the whole remake era that we currently are in.
Yeah.
And they kept it from most of the gaming world for a long time by putting it only on PlayStation.
That's the original.
It's called Integrale. It's Final Fantasy Remake Integrale. Integrale. It's one of those two. But
the edition I was just talking about is now 47.
Yes, because it's old. But yeah, so that's coming out soon. But Rebirth, the second part of it, isn't coming out soon. Like, I think they are saying it'll be out by like 2027, but that's a long way. And my issue is that they were kind of upset with how Rebirth performed. It didn't sell enough, and I'm like, well, no shit. You sold it on the PlayStation 5, a system that, you know, neither of the new systems have been doing great. They came out during COVID.
Yeah, it's out.
They came out during COVID.
Yeah.
They aren't great. They aren't great price for the money anymore.
Yeah.
And games are super expensive and such a mixed bag that you're like, oh, I'm paying $100 for something.
Yeah.
And you're like, will it work? Is it good? I don't know. Because, you know,
Find out.
we no longer live in the era where it's like, oh, this is coming from these guys. They do good games.
Yeah.
No, we're coming from an era where it's like, oh, this is coming from these guys. They're hit and miss.
Yeah.
And they want me to spend how much? Cool. Is this going to be a hit or is this going to be a miss? And so, not only does, like, one of my biggest, like, things I just hate is, like, if you're in the industry of making video games, you really can't do exclusives anymore.
No.
Because
You're going to shoot yourself in the foot if you do.
I think it's more like the head now. In
Yeah,
the past, like back in the era of the 360 and the PlayStation 3, yeah, you were shooting yourself in the foot.
Okay.
You know, no matter what one of those you choose, you are still missing probably 2/3, 3/4 of the market.
Yeah.
Now, by choosing one of those, you're probably missing closer to 7/8 of the market. Because I would dare say that PlayStation, Xbox, put them together, they make up maybe a quarter of the market. It's all PC now.
For the most part.
And the reason is because that's the best price point now. It never used to be, and it's not going to be for long because of all the AI stuff, but everything else is getting so expensive as well, and at least the PC is like, I can play everything.
Pretty well, yeah.
And,
well, you've only got to look at it like
I can play indie games.
Cooper only just turned 10.
Yeah.
And he's already, like, turned around to it. Can you get me a PC? It's like, no, I can't afford that. But the point is,
Slap the little fucker.
he already wants a fucking PC. And he's like, so he's already looking to get away from consoles. Like, yeah.
Yeah. No, but, and again, like, it's probably because of Roblox.
Fortnite. Yeah, I know.
You can play that on consoles.
He can, but he says it's like, well, but maybe I could do better on PC with keyboard and mouse.
No, you couldn't.
No.
Absolutely, no, you couldn't.
No, he couldn't. but he keeps
And
asking.
you need to say that too.
He also keeps asking, he's like, so when are we going to play Fortnite together? It's like, no.
Never. But the thing is, like, yeah, it's becoming better, and I know that, like, basically there's no such thing as an exclusive on Xbox from PC because they're practically the same thing.
Yes.
And I know that PlayStation are putting a lot of their exclusives on Steam now.
Yes.
But the big thing is, like, you just don't make exclusives because at the end of the day, it's like, oh, but if you sell with only like you know how they used to be deals.
A timed exclusive is okay.
I don't even think that's a good idea anymore.
But like, I don't think they should be waiting like the year or two that they are waiting.
Well,
it's like if they want to do like, it's like slightly exclusive, they can go okay for the first like 3 months, 3 to 5 months.
See, but that's not going to see because you got to understand it from the two people who are coming out with this, right?
Yeah.
So there's the console or manufacturer who's saying we need at least a year exclusivity because if it's anything less, people aren't going to buy our consoles.
Yeah, true.
Because that's what exclusives are for. They're for pushing the console.
Yeah, true.
So they're trying to incentivize the people making it by giving them money and stuff.
Yeah.
Problem is, you're not going to shift consoles for them. You're really not, because people will just sit there. So they kind of can't come out saying it's a timed exclusive because people will sit and wait. And the only people that hurts are the developers because, yes, they've made the game, but they can't really sell it yet. And so they're sitting on it for a year, and then, and this is the part that hurts, they either have to rerun the marketing campaign when the time exclusion ends, and be like, here it is again, And you've got a lot of people going like, no, this game already came out. Why are we seeing a marketing thing for it all again?
Yeah, and then
they just ignore it. Or you don't run a marketing campaign and no one realizes that it's come out as a proper game.
And they'll probably always have it at a cheaper price as well.
Exactly. So you're actually hurting yourself by going exclusive, even though you do get some extra kickbacks from the people you went exclusive with.
Yeah.
But they're also getting hurt because your game's not selling their consoles.
No.
That's what it's all about. And they're going, and then they go, oh, well, you know, because X, Y, Z, you actually owe us this.
Remember when we did themed consoles, and now it's like they fucking sold because it was themed?
You know what, though? That did actually make a little bit of sense. Because you were buying a collectible.
Yes.
And that was the era of... Really, that was the era of everything's good, everything's great. No one's wasting all of our computer chips on AI.
Yeah.
Now, you can't do that. So what they do, and you've probably seen this, is what they do is they make vinyl skin covers for your thing.
Oh yeah, of course. I've seen.
And you go like, oh, look, it's my. And
they've put them out for the PlayStation since like near the beginning. Yeah. Except it was a replacement plate for the side because you can just unclip it, put it back on.
Yeah, but like the reality, I think it was a bad idea, and I think it was a bad idea for many reasons. But I think the main thing was, in a lot of situations, you were just putting a decal on the side of a console and selling it for more money,
effectively.
And so you weren't selling
the one I did buy had more space in it and it was slightly more powerful. So I'm like, okay, not bad.
There was an Xbox, I believe, that was like a themed Xbox.
Well, I got the Battlefront PlayStation.
Oh no, I mean like Xbox Series X. That was a themed one. Oh,
that's right. You were looking. It was a Halo one, wasn't it?
I don't think so.
Could have sworn there was a Halo one. At least from my memory, there was. But either way.
So Xbox now does the controllers.
Which is fair. That's always made sense, doing the themed controllers. Because that's, as far as I'm concerned, that's a pretty good way to sell another controller and get people to buy it, because people will do it.
Mostly console wraps. I have a feeling it was a really off-kilter one, and it looked pretty cool.
Yeah.
But it was just one of these ones where it was like, you're like, oh, that looks kind of cool, but it was like just something really weird. Kind of looked, the way I want to describe it is it kind of looked like old school mechanical kind of stuff. I believe I actually saw it on the Xbox itself, like when you go to the store stuff.
Yeah.
But I like the controllers. I like collectible controllers because I'm kind of like, cool, I can put them aside and whatever.
Yeah.
I also like just like getting... I play with a green controller now because I like it. I want to get a few more of the colored controllers because I think they're a little bit better at kind of... I think that's a little bit funner than being like, oh, look, this is my whatever themed console. And you're like sitting there looking at it and being like, oh, it's...
I'm going to look at that
on the shelf.
I'm going to look at that for 2 minutes and then I'm going to play that game.
Well, it's not even that really. It's like, well, for me, it's like, I'm never going to look at that.
Because it's behind the fucking screen.
Because the only reason the PlayStation 4 isn't hidden is because it makes a very good...
It stands for that screen.
Utility.
Yeah.
Like, okay, you guys can't see this, but I'm going to have Kris describe to you where every console is on my desk. Okay, so where is the Xbox?
It's behind the monitor on that side.
It's over there behind the monitor. You can't see it. The only time I ever need to get to it is when I need to put a disc in it, and it's perfect for that because I can just... I'm a tool human being.
Yes.
Where is the PlayStation 4?
It's under the middle monitor, but that's also to help the monitor be a slightly higher, so it almost lines up with the other two.
Yeah, so it gets used as a PlayStation, but it's far more useful as pretty much a wedge.
Yeah, pretty much. And then the Switch isn't even on the desk.
The Switch, but if you're sitting here where I sit, where is it? It's behind the other screen.
Yeah, you can't see it.
And the PC, unlike a lot of streamers and YouTubers, is actually under my desk.
Yeah.
Out of the way. Occasionally I accidentally kick it when I'm trying to roll around.
Yes.
I have 3 screens. I don't know if you know, anyone
Yeah.
knows that. I think you see it in the podcast thing. I do actually have those 3 screens. I have 3 screens because I love 3 screens. It means there's nothing but a wall of screen in front of me.
Yeah.
It works very nicely. I can have about 8 different things running at once because I am ACDC. Because I'm AC fucking DC. No, because I'm ADHD. I don't just have one thing running. I can't operate on one screen anymore.
No.
Since I was 19, I could not operate on anything less than 2 screens. Since I was 22, I added the 3rd screen and I can't go back anymore. One of my screens died a couple years ago.
Yeah.
And I was like, I was lost until I knew what
It's funny to watch.
But yeah. I think the point that the point that I'm trying to get to is it sucks so much. Like, I understand why video games and stuff, like especially modern ones where it's like it costs server to run and all this kind of stuff, why they have to die when they come to the end of their life.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it sucks. Sometimes they don't reach the end of their lives. But I always feel like if you bought into Concord, right, and it didn't even last a week, you should just got your money back.
Oh,
straight away. Like, there shouldn't be anything on you being like, oh yeah, but you paid for it and like it just died. No, it's like a refund. If it doesn't last a generation, you should just get your money back. They should have to give you your money back if they stop it. Especially if it's like a server, you need a server to play it or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't agree with video games being shut down for no reason. I want all video games to be playable because, especially single player ones, I see no reason ever why a single player game shouldn't be playable.
Yeah.
But the point that I'm trying to make, and the thing that hurts me the most, is things like the older games that had to be physical.
Yeah.
And the fact that we just can't get them anymore. And it's like, oh, but we can take this cartridge and we can put it in a museum and we can say history preserved. But it's not, because the cartridge isn't the game.
No.
The cartridge is just what's holding the game. The only way to preserve old games is to have them played and to have
them accessible,
people playing them. And, you know, the only way that the video game industry can actually survive at this point, I feel, because it has gone down such a steep decline, is to get those old games back in circulation so that people understand what quality is again. And, you know, pick up an old fucking Pokémon game and play it and be like, yeah, so there was no such thing as patches. This is what came out on day one, and this is what we're playing now because you couldn't patch them.
Well, have a look at fucking Missing No. Legitimately an error in the code.
Yep.
Which could destroy your game. Let's face it, you did not want to catch it.
Yep.
But the goal at a certain point was to catch it. It would just corrupt your data. Have fun.
But, you know, like that's it. And it's like, now we live in the gaming world, and for a lot of gamers and stuff, it's like they've never not lived in a world where it's like, oh yeah, we put out the game shit, but don't worry, we'll fix it. It's like, and so it's just become accepted, whereas we get people going back and playing old games and learning what made those games great, and, you know, giving them an idea of what quality and good gaming is, then we can actually maybe see a change in the current market we're seeing. Because what scares the ever-loving shit out of me is that maybe in the next 10 years, half the people working on video games, entry point to video games would have been Fortnite. And that's what they're going to be like, the greatest game I ever played was Fortnite. And now I make games that are like Fortnite. And you're like, oh crap, there goes the video game industry.
Yep.
Like, it's already happening, don't get me wrong, but there's if the people who are playing the video games now start making video games and all they've got to go off is the AAA slop of now, the video game industry's done. It's done, because they'll be like, don't worry about putting out a real game. We'll fix it in patching. I hate it.
Also, I liked some of the issues that some games have. Like, some of them just were funny. and great to run into. So I very much enjoy it. I'm pretty sure I've said it before, like with Assassin's Creed. I literally went to go assassinate someone, and he got stuck in the building. So he didn't fall or anything. I'm like, what's this? Assassinate. And I just kept doing it to the point where he just started stretching and stretching and stretching. And then I did one more stab, fucking launches across the map.
Yeah.
It's like just weird, funny things that happen. It's like, good luck recreating it, but
bugs.
weird.
They sometimes...
They were fun.
They can sometimes be fun. However, there's a difference between a fun bug and a game-breaking bug. Or just a bug in general. One that does nothing. Just sucks.
One of the biggest bugs during the beginning of GTA 5 Online was the fact that if you parked your car at a certain point, jumped on the roof, you could jump through a wall and then just stand inside of a building and shoot out. And unless someone was shooting at the right spot, you weren't getting hit.
Yep.
So you could legitimately have 5 stars and survive for 2 hours. Also, it was a pain in the ass for anyone else, though, because good luck hitting them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, like, I don't know. I'm one of those people who is like, there's so much good content out there that's just old. And, because it's old, the modern world we live in is like, you don't want it anyway. It's like, no, I do, because it was good. And I want it back.
It's fun to go back to those.
Yeah.
It's like, I want to play the original Ratchet and Clank games again.
No, go buy a PlayStation 2.
3. You could play it on PlayStation 3.
Go buy a PlayStation 2 and have a couple grand ready.
Well, they had they actually remade the trilogy. Well, not remade it. Like, they remastered the trilogy and put it on PS3. So, and it was just the base game, just upgraded. So they didn't actually change anything, unlike when they made the new first Ratchet and Clank, where they made a lot of changes to the story, and 2, less planets.
I can wrap this up with 2 stories that I find really fun. One of them is from a long time ago. So it was about the time the PlayStation 3 was coming out and stuff, and the PlayStation 3 had been out for a little while, and one of my friends found like their old PlayStation 2 stuff, and just a milk crate full of PlayStation 2 games that were all really good, and we were like, that's pretty cool that you have that. And they went, and then we put it back into a cupboard, and it might still be there. So sometimes you can get lucky and someone will find something like that and not understand its value and
then
sell it online for like $50, and you go, cool, now all I have to do is find a way to play this. Don't have a PlayStation 4, no backwards compatibility. But PlayStation 5, backwards compatibility. Not for PlayStation 2.
Nope. Do you know what the backwards compatibility is for?
No.
The PS4.
So they learned nothing.
They learned absolutely nothing. It is so that you could grab any PS4 game, put it into the PS5, and play it. But there is still limitations to that, because there are certain games that still cannot be played in that situation. No, it does not go back to 3, and it does not go back to 2 or 1.
Apparently today I learned that PlayStation learned nothing. The other one, which is slightly more recent, was that when I was in university, my friend got sent a box from his parents. So just like, hey, we found this box, we thought you might like it, just for your room, whatever. It could be a nice decoration.
Yeah.
He pops it open. Now this is in the year 2015.
Yeah.
He pops it open.
Yeah.
It's his PlayStation 2.
Fuck.
In it with all of his PlayStation 2 games, including the original Ratchet and Clanks. And we're like, does it work? And he's like, let's find out. We obviously couldn't plug it into anything. We didn't have anything to plug it into.
No.
So we had to rush out and find an adapter that could change the 3 plugs into HDMI.
Yeah.
So we're down at fucking like the main shopping center down from where we lived. Going into every fucking store trying to find one of these things. I eventually did find it. It cost like $30. We were like, fucking whatever, we don't care. Just
They're good.
Rush back, plug it in. It worked perfectly.
Fuck yes.
The games were in pristine condition, and we're just like, holy shit, we now have a PlayStation. We only have one controller, but we were like, we have a fucking functional PlayStation 2. with, you know, because we all had like, you know, me and my mate had the new Xboxes.
Yeah.
Everyone had PCs. We had a few new PlayStation 4s.
Yeah.
But we're like, now we have a PlayStation 2 as well. And we're like playing Tekken and everything.
Yeah.
And it was great. And that's the thing that I think a lot of people who are coming up now as gamers will miss out on, is the thing of being like, oh, I have an old console from years ago. Plug it in and, oh, it works. And now we can play these old games that we have nostalgia for. Whereas, like, I don't think anyone's going to be like, hey, let me just rip out my old PlayStation 4. And because, like, yes, I still use it, but it's not old to me. It's like one generation removed. And, you know, whereas when I go like, oh, let me rip out my old thing, it's like, let me rip out my PlayStation 1.
Yeah.
Like, even when we're playing on my Xbox 360, I don't feel like that's an old console. Yeah. It's like my PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, and the original Xbox. That's when I feel like I'm like, here, let me just blow off the dust on this thing.
That would be fair.
And I feel like, you know, like, especially with young modern gamers, they're never going to have that feeling. Because, one, they don't want to go back to that. They never grew up with it.
They miss out on the couch co-op, for God's sake.
Well, they do, but, like, could you imagine your younglings of your sister, they don't belong to him, but they are his younglings,
okay, yeah,
sitting down and playing Mario Kart on the 64? The one that looks like shit and hurts your eyes.
No, the one. Fuck, that hurt.
Yeah, but would they do it? No, because they'd look at it and go, this is ugly, I don't want to do this. They never grew up with it. They never
we sat there and was like, this looks like shit, let's go.
I know, but
it was the worst. It was the worst fucking idea we had.
Yeah, but that's because we grew up with it. Like, we grew up with the graphics where it was like, this guy has a square for a hand.
No. So, it looks bad for a different reason, and we all know the reason for that.
Well,
it was far too big of a TV to be playing that on.
But again,
holy shit.
That's beside the point.
And it's also the way that the games were created. Because the games were created to run on a, what was it, CRT TV?
Yes.
At which point, the way they designed everything made it look good on that. So now that we've got even a monitor now that is so very sharp, it can't do it because the way they made it just fucks it up.
But again, like, they also didn't really care about, like, they're like, hey, this is a circle, and you're like, it's actually more of a hexagon, but I understand that's supposed to be a circle. Whereas now, we say that's a circle, and you go, yeah, that is a circle.
Yeah. Why
are we having this discussion? And kids are spoiled. They look at that, and then you show them an old game, and they go, it looks ugly. And that's kind of one of the biggest problems I find with modern media is looks.
Yeah.
We spend so much effort on looks because if it looks good, people will come into it. And it's like, hey, here's an option. Would you play the original Final Fantasy VII or Avowed? One looks really good compared to the other. But one is a cornerstone of gaming and the other one is a cornerstone of crap. But guys, that's all I pretty much have to say on that.
Yeah, that's fair.
Gaming, what can we say? Thank you for joining us. If you've liked this video, consider liking, sharing, commenting, or subscribing. If you haven't already, it really does mean a lot to us. If you want to see more from me and Kris, check out the rest of the channel. We play video games.
Yeah.
Some look good, some don't look good. We play Minecraft. It's square.
It is.
Bye, guys. Thank you for joining us once again. I've been Darcy. That is Kris.
Yep.
We will catch you next time right here on the channel.
Indeed.
But until then, see you later.
See ya.
Double finger guns.
Oh, shit.